Before the break, we discussed about how to create, how to retrieve the data from the SQL, and then there are different methods, two functions, MySQL fetch array and MySQL fetch associative array. We discussed that in detail. Now, how to create a table? How to create a table in the browser. So till this point, it's same. All the things are same. This is the connect string. This is for the connection. This is for selecting the database, and this is my query. So if I want to display all of this in the form of a table, so my query result is now in the result, and I said that echo. So table is an HTML tag, so that's why I wrote this inside a double quotation, and then I execute the while loop. So this will be repeated for all the rows and for all the columns. Clear? So tr is for table row and td is for table column. Clear? So I wrote it here to display it in the form of table. So changing the name here, and I'm providing it the name of let me change the names in the code. So first is our book number. So book number, book name, and publish date, and the author name, and removing these one. Okay, save it, and so this is how a table is created. Simply, there is no any complex code. Just I displayed the data in a form of table, but this time with the help of loop and query method. So what is inside the code? Look at here. Before the loop, I created a table. Clear? Let me make this one as comment, so you will see that what I have done before the code. So making this as comment, save it, and look at here. I created a table, echo table, border is equal to 1, the outline or the thickness. Clear? Then this is table row. Clear? And it is closing here. Just create one row, and that row will contain one column. This is first column, table heading, th. Okay, th for table heading. So that is book name, book number. Then the second heading in the second column, that is book name. Then the third heading in the third column, that is publish date, and that is the fourth one. So look at here. So when you refresh it, so look at here, I created this. Okay, so now it is by default little bit bold. If you use the table column, so they will not be like this. Look at here, I'm using not table th, table heading, I'm using td. So this will not be like the rest of them. So look at here, now book number is not bold. Clear? So th, when you want to make column headings as bold. Clear? And td is for table column. So then again I'm using it not the td, the th, because they are the table headings. So look at here, what the rest of code I wrote, what the rest of code I have written. I said the same thing which I explained. While row is a variable which will take all the data from the query. Clear? I executed the query here. This is my query. Clear? All the result of this select query is in the query variable, and I sent this query to this function. Clear? So this function will take all the result from the query and save it in the row. Then I said that extract this row. So whatever is inside, how many rows, 10 rows, 20 rows, 15 rows, this extract function will extract, display all the rows. So I said that echo create a table row. Clear? Create a table row. I'm writing it in a single row, so then it will be clear. Clear? Look at here. First of all, the table tag is open from here. Okay, the table tag is open from here and it is closed after the loop. The loop is just till this point. Clear? Because every time for one row I need a new column, a new row. Clear? So I said that inside the while loop, repeat all of these. So what is inside? I said that create one table row. This is table row. Okay, so I'm using it with a little bit space to show you clearly. Clear? I said that create a table row. This is table row. Inside this table row, create one table column with the name of book ID. Then create second table column with the name of book name. Then create a third table column with the name of published date. Display the result. And then create a fourth table column and show me the author name. Clear? And then close the table row. Clear? Did you get it? Save it, and this all the code is inside the loop, so every time it will create a row for the record in the array and then close the table. So save it and look at here. Now this was not in the loop, okay, because I don't want to repeat it. Headings will be just appear once. Now look at here. For row number 3 it is for row number 1 it is repeated. For row number 2 it is repeated. This is how you will create a table by query method. We also saw by wizard method. This is by query method. Just you need to write the repetition of the row and columns with the help of loop, nothing else. Clear? Now I said I'm changing the condition in the query. What was the condition in the query? The condition in the query was that select the book ID, the book name, the published date and the author name from the book table where the published date is less than this. Now I'm writing it greater than or equal to. Show me all the books. They are published after 1990 and wait, like 1997. It's 4 and suppose 21. Clear? So 97 4 21 April, 21st April 1997. So show me all the books. They are published on that day or after that day. So save it, and now I will see that how many books are published after that. So look at here, 3 books are published after that. Clear? So did you get it? How to create table and this. Now let's come to the second part of the lecture, which is using PHP with MySQL. So we will discuss some of the features of the SQL environment which we are using. I'm talking about this environment, this one. I'm talking about this. Clear? And I will show you different storage engines. What are different storage engines? So let me close this one. Okay. These are some of the code. Clear? I will give you that as a practice. So after the class you can practice this and you can design it for different tables according to different headings. Clear? So this we will discuss it after. So let's come to the topic. So what we will discuss in this table, in this lecture, field types of MySQL. There are different data types of the tables. There are different types of tables inside the MySQL. We will discuss about different types of storage engines. I will show you practically how to save tables in those engines and what is the meaning of each and every engine. Clear? Then I will show you MySQL setup command, connecting with the SQL, how MySQL fits with the PHP, creating database in the MySQL, inserting data in the database. You already know about these things, but we will cover some of the new things which are the engine, tables, and according to their storage, their size, and data types. So let's come to the field and types of MySQL. So field and types of MySQL. So when you create a table initially, you need to tell MySQL server that what type of information you will store in each column, in each field. The different types of fields and some examples are listed. So you can see here the different types of examples. So look at here. If you are using char is a data type. Any character with this field, but the field will have a fixed length. So char, and after that you need to provide the length. If you provide char 20, so you will be only able to enter 20 alphabets. Clear? Varchar will allow you to enter mixed type of data, special characters, numbers, and alphabets as well. So any character, any data type, any column with this data type, that data can vary in length from 0 to 255 characters. So you can write in front of length 255 maximum. Clear? So in one row you can enter a sentence, you can enter the maximum length of 255 alphabets, which is the combination of special characters or numbers. Clear? But the maximum length is from 0 to 225. Like customer address, look at here. Customer state, character customer state. Customer state is New York, Kabul. These are the states. Clear? Or you can write it country, Afghanistan, like these. Clear? So state or city, for that you can use character. For address you will use varchar. Clear? For address we will use varchar because address is a combination of house number, street, area code, and these things. Int we will use with the student ID, product ID, book ID, employee ID, with IDs. Clear? Because int will only allow you to enter the digits from -2147483648 till the positive of this one. Clear? So that's a huge number. You can provide IDs. Like the maximum length in using int data type in MySQL is from minus till plus 2147483647. This is the maximum length. You can go till this length. Clear? So then the second is int, unsigned int. Clear? What is the length in this? It is up to 4294967295. That you can go till this. This is in millions and millions. Clear? So the length parameter limits the number of digits that can be displayed. Clear? You can use it for customer ID or for any other things. Clear? But you can go till this limit of numbers. Then the text is also a data type. Clear? You can use text. You can also use char, character. What is the difference? The difference is any character with this field will have the maximum limit of 65,538 characters. Clear? Maximum you can go till this limit, 65,536 characters. This is the maximum limit. Where you can use text when you are getting the comments from the user. Clear? If you are getting online comments from the user, so you will use text data type. Clear? Decimal. What is decimal? When you are storing the decimal or floating point value, like the price of this product is $5.50. Clear? $5.50. So point. When you are going to store any data in point, weather. Today the weather is 27.3 degrees centigrade. Clear? So that contains a point. So you will use the data type decimal. You will provide the length. Like I provide 2. So I can enter maximum 2 characters, 2 numerical digits before the point. If I write here that decimal length 2 and comma how many digits I am allowing after the decimal. Clear? So if I write here decimal 2 and 2, clear? 2 comma 2. So I can store it like today the weather is 27, which is 2 digit, comma 28 degrees centigrade, 27.28 degrees centigrade. Or your height is 5 feet and 10 inches. Clear? So this contains a comma. So whenever you are storing something which is in decimal, like price, the price of this product is 80.78 Fs. Clear? So like these things. The next data type is enum. This is a data type. Now in this case, it only allows certain values to be stored, like true or false. Clear? If you are storing the gender, male or female, on your website, you are taking the data, just it's true or false, or it's male or female, so some fix. So if you are using enum data type, so in front of that you will write options. What are the options? Option number 1 is male, option number 2 is female. If the options are correct, then in that case it will accept it. Otherwise, if you are providing any other option, it will not accept it. Is it clear? So in enum data type, you will provide your own options. That I only need these options from the user. Clear?
Yes and no.
Yeah, yes and no, true, false, male, female. Clear? Right, wrong, no opinion. Like if you are taking any online opinion, so then you have provided these options. Clear? And date. Look at the date. So the next data type is date. So date will store the data type in the format of date, year, month, and then day. Clear? So you can use it for date of birth. Clear? Date of joining, date of resign, like these things. Clear? Then there is one more data type, which is time. Clear? Where are these all data types? They are in the MySQL. So there is one more data type, time. Time will store the hours, minutes, and seconds. Clear? Then there is another data type, which is a combination of date and time. So date and time will allow you to enter the date and also enter the time. Or if you want to pick it from the system, so we already discussed in the last lecture that with the help of date function you can pick the value from the system date and from system time, like after setting the default location. Clear? So you can just save the last date and time of a user visited your web page. Clear? Like last visit on Facebook Messenger. If someone is online before 1 hour, so you can see that last seen 1 hour. So how they are managing it? They are using this data type to enter the last visit date. Clear? And then they are showing you his last date and time. Is it clear? That's how things work in the web environment. So now MySQL field type, like if you can also use tinyInt. tinyInt is one more data type. What is this? This can store integers from -128 to 127. Clear? And if you add unsigned tinyInt, so what will happen? Then in that case you cannot save a negative or minus value. You will be only able to save from 0 to 255. Is it clear? And there is one more data type, small int. If you are using a small int with any of the column in your table, in your database, then what is that? You can store the integer values, the numeric values from minus 32,768 till plus 32,767. Clear? This is the range. So according to the range you want, you can use the data types. And if you add an unsigned with the data type small int, if you add small int unsigned, what will happen? It will allow you to store from 0 to 65,535. It means if you provide this data type to student ID, the last ID will be 65,535. Is it clear? So some another data types. Medium int. What is the range of medium int? It is, you can see the range here, 8388608 from minus till positive. If you add unsigned, so then you can only enter positive values, and then the range will also increase. So range is also increased till 167777215. Is it clear? Big int. If you are using big int, so look at here. Now what is the range? It's a huge range. Clear? So you can go till this negative range till this positive numbers. Clear? And this, if you add an unsigned big int, if you use the data type unsigned big int, what will happen? You can store the value from 0 till this 184467440737. So your last number will be this, and this is in trillion. Clear? So you can use trillion records, trillion and trillion records. Clear? So now tiny text. If you are using a tiny text data type, so if you are using a tiny text data type, so you are only allowed to enter 255 characters. If you are using medium text, so you are only allowed to enter the characters till 1677215. If you are using the long text data type, you can enter the characters till this limit, till this range. If you are using the blob is a data type which equal to a text field, except it is case sensitive. It is case sensitive when you are sorting or comparing the strings. In that case, it is case sensitive. It will store till 65,535 characters. Tiny blob equal to tiny text. It is also equal to tiny text, this one. Clear? It will allow you to enter 255 characters, but except it is case sensitive when you are sorting. Sorting means when you are arranging something, or you are searching something, or comparing something. In that case, it is case sensitive. You must need to as it is the data you are searching. And some few are medium blob. It is equal to medium text. What is the range of the medium text? The range of the medium text is 1677215. So its range is also same as the medium text, but what it is case sensitive. Long blob, if you are using this, so its range is equal to long text, and the range of long text is equal to this 4294967295, but it is also case sensitive. Now year. If you are using an year data type, year is also a data type, then you have to provide here the length. So if you provide 2, so you can store 18, like this is 2018. If you provide 4, so then you can store 2018, 2018 complete. So stores a year in 4 character format by default, but if you don't want, so you can provide the length according to the format you want. Clear? Now your MySQL server, null and not null. What is this? Your MySQL server also wants to know whether or not the field can be empty. You can do this with the null or not null option. Null turns MySQL that if you check the null, what will happen? That it means that you are allowing the user to leave this column as empty. And null is not a value, remember. 0 is a value, null is not a value. If you write 0 plus 100, so answer is 100. If you write null plus 100, answer is null, because null is the unavailability or the absence of a value. Clear? So why we are using null? To save the space. 0 will reserve memory in the database, but null will not even reserve a single bit. Bit is the smallest memory unit. It will not even reserve a single bit in the memory if you write null. But if you write 0, it will reserve the space of 1 digit. Clear? So we are not wasting the database storage. So null is not a value, and not null tells MySQL to require something. If you uncheck that option, or if you apply the reserve word which is not null, So you cannot leave that column empty. You must need to provide the data in that, the value in that. Don't forget that a number 0 is different from a null entry. I told you 0 is a digit, 0 is a value. It's a member of natural set 0 to 9, but null is the unavailability. If a field has been defined as not null and nothing is entered by the user, MySQL will enter a 0 in the field instead of producing an error. Clear? If you apply the not null constraint and the user leave it empty, clear? What will happen? MySQL, instead of creating error, it will insert a 0 by itself. Is it clear? Like you apply it on commission, that commission cannot be null, and you leave the commission empty, and there it is applied not null. So MySQL server will automatically enter a 0 for commission. Clear? So now let's come to the indexes. What are indexes? MySQL indexes. So look at here. What are indexes? What is index? If you want to find out something, so index are the number. In the start of every book, there is an index page. On that index, each and everything is mentioned. So MySQL uses an index to expedite the process of searching for a particular row of information, or let me write it like speed up. MySQL uses an index to speed up the process of searching for a particular row of information. Like if you are searching any topic in the book, so you will visit the index, and from the index you will see that this topic is on which page. So you are taking the help of index to save your time. So it's to save your time in searching. So by using an internal filling system, there is an internal filling system in SQL that can jump to the approximate location of your data. Clear? So with the help of index, MySQL will go directly to that specific data instead of wasting the time. So much more quickly, it does this through uses the index, and that is also known as the keys. There are keys and indexes in the tables in the SQL. With the help of that, it will go to specific location to find out the data which you want. So MySQL requires at least one index on every table. Minimum there is one index required on every table, so that it has something to go by. Normally you would use a primary key. We will use the primary key for searching the records uniquely. That helps keep the data separate from each other. Clear? What is primary key? That is also an index. Clear? For searching the records. This field must not be null and unique. So remember, if you create any column, from any column I mean that customer ID, student ID, passport number, Tazkira number, these are the ID columns. If you made any ID column or numeric column as primary key, so by default primary key contains two constraints in it. That is not null and that is unique. What is not null? Not null is a separate constraint in SQL. In database concept we studied. So if I apply not null on the name, so I cannot leave the name empty. And if I apply unique on the email, so I cannot enter duplicate emails. And the primary key that contains both of them by default. You don't need to write not null and unique separately. When you write primary key contains both of them. Clear? So what is unique constraint? When this parameter is turned on in the MySQL, so then you cannot duplicate the record. You can also apply it on the number, phone number, and also on the email. So I will show you, and we already work on this. Auto increment. What is auto increment? Auto increment, with the help of auto increment, automatically we will increase our 1 in the last record. So say you have a field that you want to automatically increase, like student ID, customer ID, or any other thing. This is quite useful function when assigning ID numbers. Why it is useful? Because you don't need to remember the last ID, that what was the last ID. Might be you forget the ID after 2 months, 3 months. Then again you need to open the table or see the last ID, and then you need to provide the new ID with an increment. So this auto increment will keep an eye for you on the last record. If last record was 2180, so automatically it will do an increment 2881. Clear? 2882. You don't need to remember the last ID. Is it clear? So we already use this. So it will count all the records and add by default one. So now let's come to the SQL tables. Clear? But just show me practically to you guys all the theory which we discussed. So look at here. This is a database, and first login. This is a database. I want to create one table in the web engineering. So suppose the name of the table is course table, and it contains 3 columns. Go. So look at here. These are all the data types which we discussed. You can see all of them. Tiny int, small int, medium int, big int, decimal, float, real, date and time, clear, string, clear, tiny blob, medium blob, long, enum data type, clear, and all the other data type for scientific reasons as well. Geometry, point, and the rest of them as well. Clear? Here you can define the length. Here you can define as defined, like by default. So as defined, by default, what is the value? So every time you enter a record, by default this value will be available. Clear? So this means default already. Or you can use current timestamp. So it will pick the time from your system and save it here. Whatever the time is, it will save it here. In Facebook they are using current timestamp. Clear? And attributes, you can also set it unsigned. Clear? If you remember the data type. Clear? If I select here unsigned and I select here the small int, so look at here now what range I can exceed. I can go till this where is that? Yes, look at here. I select tiny int. Let me select tiny int. I select tiny int, and from here I select unsigned. So look at here, till which limit now I can go. The limit of tiny int is 127, but I select unsigned in the parameter. So now I can enter 255 integer values. Clear? Integer digits. Clear? So if again you choose nothing, so now again you can enter 127 only. Is it clear? So this is how you can adjust. If you select this null, you can leave it empty. But if you didn't select it not null, then you must need to provide a value. What is index? You can select a primary. So then this column will become primary key. If you select unique, so then this will become unique. So we discuss about not null, unique, and primary key. Is it clear? Index, automatically it will pick it and full text. And look at this auto increment. The last one which I discussed, that if you select this option, so you don't need to remember the last ID, automatically it will do it. Is it clear? Now let's come to the tables. Tables in SQL. So first of all, let me show you some of the tables. So there are 2 types of tables in your SQL server. One is called TSTS tables and the second is called NTSTS tables. The first is transaction save tables. Clear? What does mean by transaction save tables? So look at here, these are the transaction save tables. It means that if data is lost, that can be recovered. Clear? on the rollback command. What is rollback? In database administration, there is a command rollback. So with the help of rollback, you can undo all the changes. Clear? You can save all the last changes. So the second table is non-transaction safe tables. What are they? They are non-transaction safe tables. They are much faster and they require very less memory. But the problem is their changes are permanent. Once you lost the data, you cannot recover it. Is it clear? But once you lost the data in transaction safe tables, you can recover it. But if you are using NTST tables, non-transaction tables, you cannot recover the data. They are temporary. What is the benefit? Their speed is very much, they are fast. Clear? But the changes are permanent. Clear? So look at here. I will show you how to create these types of tables, and I will show you different storage engines. Clear? So look at here. Types of MySQL storage engines. We have different types of SQL engines. MyISAM, merge, memory, formerly known as heap. Heap is a sequence, and algorithm. Heap is algorithm. Clear? So INNODB, this is by default, and BDB 5. So we will discuss about all of them briefly, and I will show you how to select them according to the size of your database. Clear? So types of MySQL storage engines. This depends totally on your website, on your project, what type of storage engine you are using. If you are using MyISAM, what is this? This is a default storage engine and will usually be sufficient for the average user need. If you are an average user, your website is small, what is the benefit? It is good for average user. Clear? Like 3 to 4 users, 4 to 5 users, like average number of users. And it support all the fields, all the field types, all the parameters, and all the functions we have talked about in this lecture. It will support each and everything. Clear? But the number of users are average. The workload is average. Look at the second, merge. This storage engine can manipulate several identical MyISAM tables as a one entity. If there are 15 tables in this storage engine, you can merge all of them. Merge means they will become one. Is it clear? So in some of the cases and some of the projects, you can also use merge storage engine. What does it mean by merge? When you are going to connect two or more than two things as one. Clear? You are going to join something. So the third is memory. This is mostly used for temporary tables. Clear? I will create the non-transaction safe tables in this storage engine, in the memory. Clear? And then I will show you. So these are mostly used for temporary tables. What are temporary tables? Because of their incredible speed. I told you, the changes are permanent. They need very less memory. So if you are using memory, remember the tables are non-transaction safe tables, but they don't support a lot of common features like MyISAM. A lot of features are not supported by this because we need speed. We don't need features. So such as auto increment and blob text column, they are not available in memory. Clear? This type should be used in unique circumstances. Clear? We use this memory storage engine like if you are working with user logs, user log. Clear? What is user log? It contains the metadata of the user, when he logged, when he logged off, what he has done. So, and you wanted to store the information in a temporary table to message the data, but you don't want to keep it for a long term. Clear? So in that case, we will use the memory because of its speed, and we don't want to keep that data forever or for long term. So look at the next storage engines, which is the INNODB. This is one more storage engine. This type is used for extremely large and frequently accessed applications. Clear? Extremely large applications. it features a row locking mechanism. By default, there is a mechanism in this storage engine that is called row locking. What is inside this row locking? To prevent different users from attempting to change or add the same row of the table. Clear? If my database is used by 20 people at the same time, and I am working on a row, I'm modifying it, I'm updating it. So the rest of the 19 people, they cannot update or they cannot modify until I finish my task. This is called row locking mechanism. When I'm working on a row, that will be locked. Clear? Once I done the changes, then the rest of them, they can see or they can update, the users. This is called row locking mechanism. If suppose all the 20 peoples, they are trying to update a row at the same time, so then there will be a lot of confusion and problem. Is it clear? So in INODB, by default, there is a row locking mechanism. So according to the source website, one instance of this type of table has been shown to support 800 inserts and updates per second. Clear? Now, if your website is created, if your database is in INNODB, so if 800 people are using your database and they are inserting and updating in one table, so 800 insert and update per second is allowed. Per second. What is per second? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are seconds. So in 1 second, 800 insert and updates is allowed in INNODB in a single table. Clear? In a single table. So it means that 800 people can insert their record in 1 second. 800 updates can be performed in 1 second. 800 deletes can be performed in 1 second. So that's a lot speed. Clear? And you can use it for extremely large applications. So now let's come to the last one, which is the BDB or Berkeley Db. Clear? Berkeley Db is the other type of table. This is one more type of storage engine, which is also called BDB or Berkeley Db. It is used to support very large applications with literally means knowingly. It knows thousands of users attempt to insert and update the same data at the same time. In INNODB, there is a row locking mechanism. You cannot update the same row when I am updating it. Clear? But the maximum people who can insert the record or update their records is 800. Clear? But in BDB, it can support thousands of users, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 peoples, and they are modifying the same data at the same time. No problem. Is it clear? So now you can consider that according to your application, you can select the storage engines and I will show you. Till this point, it's clear to all of you? Any question? So, look at here. Let me show you the data, how it works. So, look at here, we have these storage engines and the MySQL. So I will show you practically, then you can see the slides. Everything is done in the slide. So look at here practically how to use these engines and how you can make something in these engines. Noman, yara tapayo khabara na pege kha. Once lecture is finished, then talk as much as you can. So go to MySQL, PHPMyAdmin. Get here. Let me show you once again. So this is the control menu from where you can control the databases, and it is showing you that you are in the web engineering database and these things. So look at here, when you will come to the local host environment, look at here, there is one option more, and these are engines. Clear? So when you select the engine, so look at here, it is showing you all the engines. This is my ISAM. I already explained what is this. Okay, this is merge my ISAM. Clear? This will merge all the tables, and this is simple my ISAM. This is a black hole. Anything you write here, it will disappear. Clear? Black hole engine. This is CSV. It's very advanced. We will not discuss it. This is memory. Clear? I told you this will create non-transaction safe tables, temporary tables, and this is archive. Archive means it will be hidden or it will be out of the sight. INODB. This will be by default. If you create database, by default it is INNODB. Clear? So this is memory. So you can see about the memory. Clear? Memory is available on this. You can see that INODB. Look at here. These are all the features and statements supported by this database. Clear? So by default, that's why table locking mechanism and all of these things are provided. Clear? So suppose I create a database. This is Web Engineering 1 database. Now I want to create a non-transaction safe table, which speed is fast and which is temporary. So how I will create it? So I'm creating a table logs. Clear? This is for user login. So I'm writing here 4. Suppose I need 4 column. Save it here. So now look at here. I'm providing that log underscore time. Clear? And I'm using here suppose date, and or you can use virtual, whatever. This is just an example. Or log underscore details, and you can use virtual, or then you can use the day log underscore date, and you can use here date as well, and any other thing. Clear? Now when you create your table, look at here, there you see an option, storage engine. All of the storage engines are available, and now you know their working and their performance. So I want to create a non-transaction safe table, a temporary and a fast speed. So I create a table, then I will select memory from here. Clear? Memory storage engine, and click on save. So this table will be saved in my database Web Engineering. Yes. Provide the length, okay? So 30, and provide the length here 30. The date length is 15, and that's it. Save. So look at here. Now this time, where is your table? This is log table, and look at here. It is created in the memory storage engine. It means that this is a non-transaction safe table. This is a temporary table. Its speed will be fast. It will use less processing speed, and it will give you ultimate result. If you want to create your any other table in any other storage engine, so now you know the method. Is that clear? So how to set the password on your this admin panel. Good. I'm going to log out. So I'm going to log out from here. So look at here, there is no password. I'm just providing root and go. Clear? How to set a password on this? I will show you how to set the password. So look at here, the slides. This is the slide, okay? I already explained it in the video, so you can watch it out in the slides later. These are all the different engines. From here you can see, and by default the storage engine is INNODB. Whenever you create a database, by default it will be this, because INODB having the locking mechanism and support all of the things. Now you need to create a table. When you create a table, click on the go button, and then after providing the attributes, select the storage engine, whatever engine you want, and click save. So you will see that the table will be saved in that specific storage engine. Is it clear? Now how to set the password? Clear? Before the password, there are some of the SQL commands which you already know. Create command. Create command is used to create a table. Clear? Or a database, even create database or a create table. Alter used to modify. Clear? If you don't have the idea of these commands, so you can watch out on in my Oracle lectures on my YouTube channel. So select is a basic command to retrieve something from the database, and delete is used to erase the table or even erase all the database. So then insert into, how to use the insert command. Describe command. Describe is one more command which is in detail in the Oracle lectures, and describe command is used to see the structure of a table or even the structure of a database. Clear? It will show you all the data types, all the columns, and each and everything. Insert is used to insert a record in the database. Update is used to update, and drop is used to drop a table or delete a table. Clear? So now, how PHP fit with MySQL? So MySQL connect. This is a command which you already know, which is used to connect with your database if you have a password or something. MySQL select DB. This is a command to select a database from your local host environment. MySQL query. This is used to execute whatever query you are writing. Select, update, delete, drop, alter, whatever query you are writing. Create, whatever query you are writing, it will be here. MySQL fetch rows. MySQL fetch row is used to return the result from the database. Clear? If suppose you insert one record in the database, so now the status of the row is changed. Clear? So it will return 1, that inside the database one row is affected. If no record is inserted, 0 will be written. Clear? Used to return a row of entire result. Oh, sorry. That is sorry. It was MySQL underscore affected rows. This is MySQL underscore fetch row. So it will take all the rows and return a row of entire result from the database query. Clear? MySQL fetch array. If there is a complete array, it contains 20, 50, 30 records. So it will take all the array and fetch it. And the last function is MySQL underscore error. If there is any error, this function will catch it and will show it to you on the screen. So now let's come to the password. How to apply the password. Clear?